Just real quick on that news Jim was talking about. He is the top wide receiver in the 2025 class. Saraland's Ryan Williams has announced he is reclassifying to the 2024 class and is still currently an Alabama commitment there. So that was what that announcement was, just to give you a little heads up on that. All right, speaking of Alabama, let's talk some Alabama football with offensive lineman Tyler Booker, who has joined us throughout the season, courtesy of CraneWorks and RentalWorks. The big guy says rent from the big dog, CraneWorks and RentalWorks. What is up, Tyler? How are you today?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing awesome. Thanks a lot. I don't remember your story, the whole reclassification thing. Did you consider doing that? I mean, that seems like giving up your senior year of high school would be an awful lot.
It will be a lot, but it's an investment that you make into yourself to help propel your future. You know what I mean? So whatever it takes to get you where you need to be. So I forwent, however you say that.
Yeah.
The second year to early enroll, but the whole senior year, that's a big commitment, you know. But I feel like if I was in a position and I had to do that, I'd do the same thing. You know what I mean? Because it's all about investing into yourself and really just doing what you need to do in order to become the best version of yourself.
At IMG, did you guys do homecoming and like dances and proms and anything like that? I mean, what'd you miss by skipping out other than senior skip day? I mean, your senior skip day for you was a whole semester, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I missed out on a lot, but I wouldn't trade my experience at IMG for the world. Like, yeah, they had the dances there for us. They try to give it as much of a homeschool feel as they could, but I really didn't get that homeschool feel, and I'm kind of glad I didn't get that traditional high school feel because it put me in the mindset of preparing for college and preparing for the next level. So being there for 3 years, then coming to Alabama and IMG is really just a mini Alabama, if you ask me, and if you ask a lot of guys. So that really just helped me have success at Alabama early when I did last year.
Well, I tell you what, we have great viewers. See if somebody can Photoshop Tyler Booker's head onto a great prom picture, and we'll send him a prom picture. We'll make one. We'll frame it and send it to you, dude.
Alabama's Tyler Booker with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He joins us throughout the season, courtesy of CraneWorks and RentalWorks. The big guy says rent from the big dog, CraneWorks and RentalWorks. What do you think was the benefit of enrolling early? Like, what do you think you learned from January through April that you may not have been able to learn in May through August?
What I learned from January through April is that this is a grown man's game. You have to either grow up or get out. You know what I mean? Like, of course, the game of, the level is going to increase, but you really don't know what it's like until you're a 17-year-old and a 22-year-old is just literally manhandling you all day in practice. Well, I feel like that also made me who I am as a player. You know what I mean? Just being scrappy and having to be better with my technique and knowing that I had to get stronger. I feel like that's the biggest development to my game. Like, I've gotten so much stronger, and I feel like you can't substitute strength. Like, everybody's going to face, everybody up front in the trenches, they're going to face some difficulty whenever you get to college early on, just because of the strength factor and the speed of the game. But once I got stronger, I really locked in that summer the summer going into my freshman year. Locked in and really focused on getting a lot stronger, focused on my technique, and that's when I started to hold my own in fall camp, because spring ball, I was getting my butt whooped every day, but that allowed me to go into fall camp and kind of hold my own and then go into the games and actually perform and produce. So everybody goes through what they go through for a reason.
Am I right that transition high school to college, that it's easier as a true freshman to play other positions? To me, I put offensive line, defensive line, 1, 2 is the hardest to come and play immediately as a true freshman. Am I right about that?
I totally agree, just because of what I just said, the strength standpoint and the just being crafty with your technique, because there's no substitute for strength, man. There's nothing you can do as a 17-year-old that's going to stop a 22-year-old or a 20-year-old from putting you in the quarterback's lap. In the other positions, you can be people that are just naturally fast. You know what I mean? You can get away with speed. You can get away with quickness. You can get away with elusiveness. But in those trenches, you got to be the part to hang in there.
Tyler Booker is with us, courtesy of CraneWorks and RentalWorks. The big guy says rent from the big dog, CraneWorks and RentalWorks. So last time we talked to you was the Monday after the SEC championship, and there was still the glow of winning the championship and getting into the college football playoffs. We focused so much on that. I don't know at the point when we talked to you if you had already gotten your corrections in the film study. even in a win, I know the way Nick Saban operates and this program operates. You know what you could do better. So, I don't mean this to be a negative question. It was an amazing win, obviously. But when you look back at that game, what could Alabama do better even from the game over Georgia?
Just like every other Alabama game this year, we can execute better. There's always room for improvement. I feel like this is the closest we've come to playing Alabama football as far as physicality goes, as far as making plays when we need to, but we just need to be consistent with that. You know what I mean? There, even in the Georgia game, there were lulls in the second half where we really couldn't score. You know what I mean? But we scored when we had to. We just have to have that, okay, we got to have it here mindset every drive.
You know this because we ask you about it for a few weeks in a row about, hey, this offensive line, a lot of talk about how amazing it was going to be. And you kept saying, we're going to get there, we're going to get it there, we're going to get there. I want to specifically ask you about one of your teammates in Kadyn Proctor. He's a guy that got a lot of criticism early in the year. But boy, as the year went on, he got better. What did you see click in Kadyn Proctor that made him a better left tackle?
So when Kadyn came in, Kadyn's very mature. He's very smart. It's just like I said, it's hard to make up for that strength component and then the speed of the game. You know what I mean? So week by week, he's just getting on the job experience. You know what I mean? Everybody talks badly about Kadyn, be like, okay, Kadyn came from Iowa. He played in a good conference in Iowa, playing in front of maybe 1,000 people. Now you're on a big stage in front of 100,000 people. Everybody knows your name. Everybody's coming after you. You do something great, you're the best in the world. You do something bad, you're the worst. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of pressure to have on yourself as an 18-year-old man. And I commend Kadyn. I'm so proud of Kadyn because I actually was a part of getting him here, recruiting him, and I saw the potential that he had. So to see him really succeeding at a high level and playing at a high level, I knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of winning. And I'm so proud of Kadyn. It's really hard to put it into words. You know what I mean? He's an example of when, okay, let me stick through it. Let me be mentally tough. Let me continue to fight. What can happen if you continue to stay the course? You know what I mean? I'm so proud of him.
Okay, so you got a nice Christmas decoration behind you over your shoulder there. I like that, but obviously we're focused on Pasadena now. How much tape are you watching on Michigan? What's the plan this week? What's on the agenda as you get the Tide ready to head out west?
So on this week, we're still in finals week right now. You know, academics comes first, so we got to finish our finals week, and then we'll get to practice and stuff on Saturday. So we're very excited about that. But every now and then I'll check in on some Michigan tape, but that's just keeping me locked into the game because Coach gave us some time off. But you still have to stay locked in, whether it be physically, mentally. You just got to stay locked into the game plan and think what they could do. So I really enjoy it. I'm really a student of the game. So just being able to watch some of the top teams in the country and then going out to play against them is really a dream come true.
By the time you are finished film study, how many games of theirs do you estimate you will have watched?
I'll probably watch every game by the time I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Because there's so much time. There's so much time in between now and then, and I have so much free time now. It's like I don't know what to do myself. So I've just been watching just checking in and out of those games, watching some of the NFL games, things like that.
Yeah. What do you think about the offsides in the Kansas City game yesterday? Were you watching that? You never see that penalty called. I can't remember the last time I've seen it called, but they say it's been called 11 times in the league this year.
But you know how many games there have been so far? You know how many plays there have been so far for it to be only called 11 times? You know what I mean? And to be called in a moment like that, like you see it all the time in basketball. When it's a physical game, the refs let them play a little bit. Even in football with wide receivers and DBs, when it's a physical game, the refs let them play a little bit. They get a little handsy. It's like, okay, it's coming from both sides. So for that flag to be called then in that fashion it's without a warning. If there was a warning, if they were given a warning and they called it then, like, okay, it is what it is. But from my understanding, there was no warning to the Chiefs or Kadarius Toney. So I feel like that's sad.
Tyler, there's no easier position to line up than the wide receiver position. They hold their hands to line up out there. Those guys get up there, they look at the officials and they back them up. You know, they tell them, I'm on the line, I'm off the line. You guys have to really line up on the offensive line. The referees hold their hands at wide receiver. He never looked over at the wide receiver, at the linesman. It's his fault. He's got to look over at the linesman who would have backed him up. They basically, it's like upward football out there for the wide receivers.
I mean, I completely understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, in a game like that, with playoff implications like that, Like, come on, you can't make that call. And I can see if it was drastic. But it was just like if the Chiefs would have won that game, nobody would be talking about that play.
Yeah. Well, he's closer to the linebacker than he is the quarterback.
Jimmy Rulefall.
I mean, he's way over the line.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't have been fun playing games with you in middle school.
There's no doubt. His wife even will tell you that he's the world's policeman, Tyler.
Yeah.
This guy loves to police the rules. That's what he loves to do.
My wife's a pastor. I will send you a clip of her blasting me from the pulpit yesterday.
He's the world's policeman, man. He wants you to follow all the rules.
Yeah.
Every one of them, like to the letter.
I bet.
Yeah. I mean,
Except in recruiting. roll damn Tide.
All right, Tyler. Take care of yourself. Enjoy those finals. We'll be back with you next Monday. As always, we appreciate the time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a nice week.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care, man. Tyler Booker with us, as always, presented by CraneWorks and RentalWorks. The big guy says rent from the big dog, CraneWorks and RentalWorks.